Hey everybody, today we are going to do a review on my BX 1870. It's a 2017. I picked it up 2.5 seasons ago from my landscape company. I ended up getting it from a customer that I was working for. They were getting ready to trade it in. Didn't think they were getting a good deal on a trade-in at the time. So they ended up buying another. They just wanted to step it up because I bought this with a snowblower, mowing deck, and the bucket on it. I didn't want the snowblower. Guy that was using it, he had a very long sweeping hill that went to his house, and he was looking. I think he ended up going to a B series with a snowblower on it. This did work well. Nothing bad to say about it, other than he just wanted to upsize. It had 64 hours on it. Something I picked up, I thought it was a good deal, and I'm like, I think we'll use it. It's crazy how much we're using this thing. I've had it 2.5 seasons. I bought it with 64 hours on it. In 2.5 seasons, I put another 330 hours on it. That's how much it's being used in the company. I got to bring it in, get everything set for winter. I normally put a new fuel filter, treat the fuel, oil change. It's had a hydraulic change, oil change and filter this summer, but I'm still going to just change the filter. I want all new filters in it basically for the winter. That way it's ready to go in the spring too. It's something I don't have to worry about. Needs a tire. I don't want to say it's the only weak point that I can see about this era, and this is a 2017, is the tire packages that come on. And the front tires on this are like a riding lawnmower tire. What I do with it, I just did a job moving a bunch of concrete out of the bottom of a barn, and I think that's what got one of the tire. I had a rear tire go bad and a front tire go bad, so I just bought 2 new tires and rims, and I'm going to keep one as a spare. But I'll show you that. But I want to do a review on this because I bought this thinking it was going to be something my wife could use around the greenhouse and around the yard and this and that. I'm amazed how much this is on job sites. It just works good. It does everything very well. I'm like, at first I'm looking at the size thinking the same thing, it's going to be a Tinkertoy. But this probably gets used as much as most of my other tractors on job sites. It fits in places, even my 2501 won't. The job we just did with it, it was in the basement of a 100 and something year old barn digging out concrete that someone put in there years ago. And that's pretty much what took out the tires. But this thing's built like it goes like a bull. The biggest downfall that I can see is the tire package, and they only offer the turf tire. In 17, I think it was 19, they did stop putting heavier. You can get them with R4s and stuff like that. But even back when you could get the tractor, what I call the V-track tractor tire, they were real thin on these. I just bought these tires thinking I'd change it over, and I couldn't get R4s for the 17. That tire size is different than the other BXs. I think it was 15, 16, 17, 18 had that type of tire and rim on it. 19, they went to the R4s, but they also, I think it's an upsized tire size. So I looked even at my tire guy said he couldn't get any heavy tire for that. So that's a downfall. It ain't a downfall because I have most uses that I did with it. I'd never had an issue until I did this concrete thing, and I think I was just hitting edges of concrete, backing out with all the weight in the bucket. But I've used it. I'm impressed with it. I want people to know about these. A homeowner, this is all you'd ever need. It mows well. I believe it's a 54-inch mowing deck that goes on it. You can once in a while let my field go. If I'm busy, my field up back of my house gets a little far. If I was growing, let's say it goes 4, 5, 6 inches tall. Instead of using my zero turn, I'll put the mower on this. This has no issues. I mean, right now, I believe what I'm going to do is get rid of my zero turn because I'm not happy with it at all. And I'm going to just mow the little bit of mowing I got left, my commercial properties, I can mow with this. But I want to do a review on it and show people. It's been a pretty good piece of equipment. Put 330 hours on it, like I said, in 2.5 summers. And today I'm bringing it in. I already did the air filter. I'm going to do an oil change. Basically grease it. I'm going to replace the 2 front tires. I bought these. So we're going to be cleaning it up, doing a review on it, what I think of it. A lot of people question, oh, will it lift this? Will it lift that? This is a 1870, which I believe is the smaller of them all, horsepower-wise. 2017, and I use it as a tractor. And that will lift anything you put in that bucket rounded, even the concrete that I was doing was more than that bucket would hold. It was hanging out the sides, front. That would lift high enough to dump in my dump trailers with no issues at all. So I don't know what people would expect out of this size tractor, but I'm gonna say I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm gonna go through a couple things. I just checked the antifreeze, that's all set. When I pulled this out, this little rubber gasket's coming off. What I'm gonna do with that is just stick a little bit of windshield urethane on it today and stick it back down. It will dry before I put it in there, but we'll just, I'm gonna get going on doing the oil change and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm very impressed. Another thing I do with this a lot is if we're going somewhere to put a raised bed in, I normally cut the turf out. This has got power enough. You put it in low gear and this will, you can take that bucket, put it 2 or 3 inches in the ground and it will peel turf right up. It rolls right up in that bucket. That was the first thing we did with it. My son-in-law and daughter went out and did a job where they were putting big raised beds around rental properties, and they could not believe how well this worked. As far as like, they would cut an edge on the turf on the outside edge, and other than that, this cut clean, pulled it up good. It would literally roll in that bucket like it was a machine meant to do it. It was just crazy. But that was the same thing. My son-in-law has been around big equipment all his life, and he looked at this like what a Tinkertoy. They took it that day, and after that, they were blown away. Like I said, I've looked at other tractors that are this size. I've seen a couple that I thought were built pretty good. A couple that weren't. If you're gonna get one with a backhoe, I think Kubota is the one to beat. They just seem to be built heavier. Downfall, I mean, something you see on YouTube that people don't like is how you gotta rev this up. I mean, that pump has no pressure until you rev the motor up. So you can't you pretty much gotta turn the motor up a little bit to get it to even lift that bucket up. So when you watch the comparisons of other tractors, that's what they always beat Kubota up. Oh, you gotta rev it up, but it doesn't seem to bother me. I mean, you just got to know how that works. And like I said, I believe this would lift to the point where you'd actually blow one of the front tires out. It doesn't seem to have any issues lifting anything I put in it. The video of me digging out the bottom of that barn, I believe there's some pictures showing this thing going across the yard with probably twice the capacity of that bucket, because it was big 3 and 4 foot chunks of concrete that I had in this, bringing it out to put it in the dump body. Dump trailer, and no issues at all. So we're going to clean it up, and like I said, I'll keep doing a review on it, but I definitely want to get this out there. That's it. I'm so much more impressed with these BXs than I ever thought I would be. I'm going to switch out the tires and I'm done with oil change and filters. Like I said, I'm going to keep this one as a spare. I think that's going to be the weak point for me, is these front tires. If I would have bought this new, almost all my new tractors, I've always bought with a front spare tire, because it tends to be the ones that you drive a little too far into a crappy pile, like if you're picking up construction stuff. Even though those tires were new, I put this slime in it. I took the stem out and I put like probably a cup and a half of this in each one of them as a precaution. My zero turns the same way. I swear the worst luck with lawnmower tires going flat. I put this in them now when I have them brand new, and I tend not to have a problem after. So I'm basically gonna grease it, clean up the pan a little bit, and then we'll finish the review on it. I'm gonna show you what it lifts and doesn't lift. I do have loaded rear tires. I had a flat on the back, and I want to say it was like a four. When I brought that to a Kubota dealer to get done because I wanted the original type tire put on it, and I believe to get that filled with the beet juice again was like $44. So even though that's a small tire. This model year is a 2016 BX 1870. All my paperwork I got from the guy I got it from. It was sold to him by MB Tractor as a 2017. But anyways, something I wanted to do a review on it because I am way more impressed with this thing than I thought I was going to be. Most guys in the business, like I am, landscape business, wouldn't look at this size tractor, but it's crazy how much we use this, and it will dump into both my two of my three dump trailers with ease. With anything, like I said, you look at one of my videos when I'm doing concrete with it. Says this bucket only picks up like 668 pounds. I can tell you right now, it picks up more than that. Anything I put in that bucket, it's lifted. If anything, it gets a little light in the rear, and I'm comfortable with it because I've been on equipment, 20 something years of my life. So it doesn't bother me. Some people might get a little nervous. I try to keep a 4-foot York rake on the back of this just for the ballast. I do have a box, weight box to put on it too. If I go do a raised bed for somebody, what I normally do is take the turf out of their lawn. This will dig in 3 or 4 inches and peel turf up, not digging. It doesn't even spin the tires to hurt the rest of their lawn. I found we're using it for that a lot. This job I just did moving the concrete. It was the only thing that would fit underneath that barn, and it fit underneath without even folding the roll bar down, so it was awesome. I took probably, I'm gonna guess 75 to 85 yards of material between the concrete and bank run gravel that was in there that was too big to leave. There was like 4, 5, 6 inch rocks in it. Took all that out of that barn with this little machine. I also put back 65 yards of stone, 3/4 stone, and reground hot top is what we ended up using as a base because she's going to park antique cars in there, and that seemed to pack real good, so we ended up leaving that. As a base. But like I said, the machine, I would never in a million years thought I was going to use this as much as we have. And like I said, I've had it 2.5 summers. I've already put 330 hours on it. The only issues I'm having is with the front tires. And a lot of that's probably overloading the bucket, backing out. And like I said, that had a bubble in it. So I'm pretty confident I caught an edge of a piece of sharp concrete, which isn't really a big deal. Other than that, this thing I've done nothing besides change oil filters. I've done the hydraulic fluid, I believe, once, the complete thing with the filter. Today I did put a filter on it, just a filter, because I wanted all new filters on it before winter. I've done a lot of waterfront jobs where you got to sneak in between 2 camps and no one wants you to make a big mess of the yard. And I brought a lot of pavers in. You unload them from the truck, put the pavers in this bucket, you can bring them out front onto the lake front where you're using them. It doesn't tear up anybody's yard, it's light enough. It travels pretty good. I think the forward speed in this is like 7 or 8 miles an hour. It's no speed demon, but I mean, I will never go without one of these in my business ever again. A lot of my stuff, as I get older, now that I've been in business 25 years come this August, and because of that, a lot of people call me, they want 1 tree or 2 trees. I don't say no to much, so this would be nice. This, with a backhoe on it, would be nice to go put those 2 trees in. You can bring a smaller trailer, smaller truck, not worry about it. Put it in back one of your dump trailers. You'll see pictures of this in my videos quite a few times when we're going to do bark mulch. I'll throw 3 or 4 or 5 yards of bark mulch in the front of the trailer. There's D-rings in there. I can put this in the back of it. Instead of wheelbarrow and everything, we use this to bring the bark mulch around properties and do it. The 3-point hitch, I put my 4-foot York rake off my 2501 on it. It doesn't bother it at all. I think the 3-point hitch is good for 900 plus pounds. Another thing I'll say that I like about it now, I'm doing a review on it, is the mowing deck on this. I used it quite a bit when I first got it because it was on it, and then I took it off. I had put it back on a couple times. I got a couple acres up behind my house in a field. When I'm busy with the business, sometimes I let that go. If I let it go to the point where it's 5 or 6 inches tall, I don't normally do it with the zero turn. I normally put the deck on here. This thing will mow 4 or 5 inches of grass clean at a pretty good speed, like one pass. I like it so much, and it does a nice finished job. I think I'm just going to keep this. Even if I get another one of these, I want to keep this for around the yard to mow my fields, mow my grass. I did away with all my residential mowing. Everything I do now is commercial mowing, and it's big areas where this would work. So I think what I'm going to do is keep this for my mower and get rid of the zero turn from this point on. I think I could have 2 or 3 of these around. They would stay busy. So it's ready for winter season. This doesn't get used much. I've got a lean-to out back. I'm going to put it under. Once in a while, let's say we do have a bad winter this year and we have a lot of snow around our house and the lean-tos, I will dig this out because it just sneaks in areas that the other stuff won't. Other than that, this will probably sit most of the winter. But I wanted the fresh oil and stuff in it, so if I do start it on a cold day or after it's been sitting. I want to show this BX tractor lifting. People complain sometimes online, or they're worried about what these will lift. This will comfortably, you can round that bucket with whatever you want to round it with, and it will dump into that trailer with no issues at all. I just want to show that in this video where I'm doing a review on this, because I don't want to say it does something and then not show it. So I'm going to show this real quick. I don't know what anybody else would think this tractor was going to do. I'm actually impressed that it does that. So getting pallet forks for this, to me, I don't think I would do it. This isn't what I would buy to move stuff around with on. But I don't like when people say, oh, you fill the bucket, it won't lift it. That's filled at 3/4 stone and it lifts it with no issues. So I don't understand the complaint. This is a 2017 machine. With hundreds of hours on it, and it does it with ease. I've done nothing to the pumps or anything on this. The only downfall on the BXs that I can see are the front tires, because they just don't put enough tire. They do now. It's up, I think 2019 they started putting the R4s on them, which were a lot better tire. The problems I have with this, because it's a 17, you can't really get a heavy duty for the front tire for the front. But I just want to show people height. This I can lift. I'm going to show you again in this video right now. I'm going to lift this all the way, go back and forth. It's not even uncomfortable. This has got beet juice in the rear tires, which I think adds 450 pounds of weight. Other than that, there's nothing on the 3-point or nothing in it. It's comfortable. I showed you at height that you wouldn't normally move in. Even at that height, does it get light on the back? Yeah, but it doesn't. It's not dangerous. You're not supposed to do that anyways. But I just want to show. I'm sick of seeing all the YouTube videos on these small tractors. Not just Kubota neither. Oh, why buy that? There's uses for every size tractor. I got multiple size tractors. I love this thing because it fits in places the other ones won't. But I don't. The myth that these don't work well. This is a 17. The newer ones, I've gone to, I have lakefront properties I keep care of around here through my landscape business. A lot of homeowners have these just to, mess around with the acreage that they got or whatever. Some of them are farms, they call them camps, but they buy these. And the new ones are even more stable. They're a little bit, I think the newer ones are a couple inches wider as far as sneaking in places, but now you can get the quick attach buckets and all that. Again, if you're buying one of these to do a certain amount of weight to lift it, don't get that quick attach bucket, because that takes away. Having all that hydraulic quick attach up, you can get them, I guess, hydraulic now, but even all that extra hardware just to have that quick attach bucket, that's probably adding 100 and, I'm going to say 150 to 200 pounds of stuff up there. Yeah, and then your bucket goes on after. You're going to find your quick attach buckets probably built heavier too. So it takes away from what you can lift. So if you're worried about lifting capacity, I wouldn't get it with a quick attach. I personally wouldn't waste my time getting a set of pallet forks for one of these neither, unless you were just moving light stuff around. But for my business, this has been, I'm super impressed with this, and I thought just like every construction person, I thought, oh, what a joke, but it was a good deal, so I bought it. And after I got it, I will never be without one of these. And I said that more than once in this video. But I wanted to come up here and show it working so that no one, oh, you said this, but you didn't show it. I just showed it. And like I said, anybody with experience isn't going to go across the yard with the bucket in the air like that. But this will comfortably grab a full bucket of anything you grab. The only thing heavier than this I wanted to do that it will do with ease that I couldn't because the pile's frozen this morning is my stone dust. Stone dust is about the heaviest thing you're going to put in that, and that will do a rounded bucket of stone dust with no issues. So. All right, I'm leaving that at that height because I want to show the dump trailer that's behind me. This will dump into a dump trailer with no issue, especially with this one with the sides on it. If I had one board, it would, but that I keep for doing box mulch. But the trailer behind me, no issues. This will load in the back of my F350 four-wheel drive. I can do the tailgate end of the dump body and dump stuff in I have before. I just want to stop that myth that these don't do. I don't know why anybody would think this was going to do more than what it's doing right now. If you look at, a lot of people lie with, oh, this tractor will lift this much, that bucket being full, even with these tires loaded with 450 pounds of beet juice and stuff in them, that's all you're going to want in this frame size tractor for weight. I don't care. I don't see why anybody would want to put any more. Another thing, the quick attach buckets are a good idea on the new ones because they beefed them up a little bit. But on these, this is I believe the 1870 is a 70 series. Now they're like BX25s, and I think they're a little bigger than these. I think they're a couple inches wider, a couple inches longer now. But like this is a 17. I know one of my customers has got one of these. It's the same exact thing that's a 13, so I don't think they changed them much in quite a few years. But like I said, I don't understand why someone would think this was going to do more than it's doing right there. I am super impressed with this as a business. I can't imagine any homeowner that's thinking about buying one of these BX tractors, go for it. I mean, I have no issues. But I just want this to be part of the review. I wanted people to see that this will lift a full bucket of anything you put in it. I believe the lifting capacity on this is like 650 pounds is what they say. I know I've lifted more than that. In the video that I did hauling concrete, I was rounding this bucket with pieces that were sticking out 2 feet, 3 feet out and dumping them in that trailer going across someone's yard, and I felt comfortable doing it. And I never had an issue lifting them to dump in at all. So I believe that 650 is probably conservative with what this thing will actually lift. I don't believe you'd want much more weight on the front end of this small tractor anyways, as far as moving it around, loading trucks or whatever. But so far, I am more than impressed with this thing, and I want people to know that, not to ever be afraid to buy one of these. So, all right, I just thought I'd add this to the video so I don't want that. From now on, when I say something, we'll do something, I'm going to try, like on any of my equipment, I'm going to try to show you doing it. So again, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. I've had a lot of people asking me to keep doing these reviews on the equipment I own and what I thought of it. And I'm honest, if I don't like something, you're going to find out. But these here, I'm just super impressed with this.